Oh Tannenbaum, oh Tannenbaum, get the hell out of Miami town. Welcome to Electric Football.
Week 17. What a season it has
Woo!
been. And we're going to let Stu jump right into it with the Dolphins against the Bills.
Because every fan knows this is a game we're going to lose. There is no consistency other than losing with this Fins team. Buffalo's going to play with heart. Tannenbaum's being evicted. Hopefully Gase and company go with him and Greer. I think Miami folds like a cheap 10 here. I would take the Bills every day of the week, -3 on that.
Yeah, I'm going Bills too. I don't understand why they took Tannenbaum. He failed for another team in your division miserably, and you brought him in and promoted him. It makes no damn sense.
That's what we do.
I don't know who he knows.
Welcome to loser town.
Yeah, and right now Gase is coaching for his job, and I don't think he's going to win it. I'm taking the Bills too.
Yeah, he's on the bench looking for a job.
Falcons at the Bucks, and this one's pretty simple for me. The Falcons have better veteran leadership on their team. They have a better coach. It's a shame this team's never going to be back to where they were when they lost that freaking Super Bowl they should have won. You can't see them, in your mind's eye, you can't see them making another run at this point.
Not with these guys, no.
But they are the better team speed, better coaching, better veteran leadership. Give me the Falcons to finish this one strong.
Yeah, I'm taking the Falcons too. I've been hoping that Tampa would rise to the occasion the last couple of weeks and play better, but they just haven't. So I'm taking the Falcons here, just based on that.
Cowboys at Giants, and as much as I hate to say this, all the Cowboys have to do is run on the Giants to win this game. They don't need this game desperately. Is this the end of the Eli era is a big question around here, and it's been a good era, but I may be wrong on this. Somebody check me. I think his win-loss record is now sub 500.
Regular season, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, I believe it is sub 500, which makes it real hard, like, to go, Hall of Fame quarterback. And when you see some of the desperately bad games he's had, you don't think to yourself, this is one of the best guys of all time. So, throw it in the comments, Eli, Hall of Famer or not, but I'm taking the Cowboys here.
I am taking the Giants because I think Barkley can run all over the Cowboys here too. Plus, this is, again, last game of the year means nothing to the Giants. Could keep we got a bell from the Angels. That means another Cowboy got their wings.
Another Cowboy got its spurs.
Got arrested. I think the Giants really want to play spoiler here, and it can really hurt the Cowboys' playoff spot here. I am taking your New York Giants.
All right, so we split on that one. We've got the Panthers at the Saints, and the Saints don't need this, but the Panthers have quit a long time ago. Props to Christian McCaffrey. He broke the record for most receptions by a running back, I believe, and can add to that this week. Meaningless game here for Carolina, obviously, and I don't think they show up. I think the Saints win no matter who plays.
Yeah, and the Saints don't even have to win this game. They've got the home field advantage. So if it's a rout by halftime, you're going to see McVay pulling, what's his name?
Drew Brees?
No.
Taysom Hill?
Sean Payton.
Oh, Sean Payton.
Keeps Sean McVay's the Rams guy.
Yes, sorry.
Payton's going to start pulling guys out, which could get Carolina a little bit closer, but this game's a blowout by halftime, and Brees is on the sideline hugging his children.
Yeah, teaching them lessons in humility, evidently.
See why we didn't go to Carolina, kids? Carolina sucks.
No, Drew would be like, make sure that you tell Cam he played great this year. Jets, Pats. Pats clinched for the decade. Jets do what they always do. They played a good game and then blew it in the fourth quarter. Someone was just talking about this on the radio. Their fourth quarter scoring differential under Todd Bowles has been horrendous. And this year it's something like in the last 5 minutes of a game, they've been outscored 60-something to 14. Do not expect last-minute heroics from your Jets. Poorly coached team. Bowles is out. Late penalties always kill them. I think they made a good pick with Darnold, and I think they're very happy with his development this year. You're just going to have to see who's his coach and what talent they get around him next year. Pats win this game easy.
Yeah, they did get a very good quarterback out of the draft, and he was surrounded by nothing. I mean, he lost what semblance of talent around him to injuries and everything like that, and there wasn't much to begin with. They'll get a low draft pick, or a high draft pick, excuse me, pick up a couple offensive linemen that can keep him from getting spanked all the time. But they need running backs. They need wide receivers.
They need wide receivers.
They're a year or two away. Yeah. So, I'm taking the Patriots. But God, if there's a Jet win in there somehow.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell to the Jets is what the audience says.
Le'Veon Bell's going to the Colts is what everybody else says.
Wow, that'd be hot.
So we got Jags at the Texans.
Wow.
Texans and the Pats, I believe, are of equal record. There'll be a little scoreboard watching there. Both should take the win here, which I think goes to the Pats if they do. I like the Texans easy over the Jags, who I think quit about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Except when they played Miami.
They
seem to not quit then.
Even after having quit, they won the
Fuckers.
Battle of Miami.
Couldn't you have quit and
Battle
not
of
showed
Florida.
up? There's no way the Texans lose this game. But they're not playing great ball over the last 4 weeks. I mean, they're not looking great.
Up and down team.
Up and down, and the Patriots are going to win. So forget the second seed, but you have to win to get it, and hope the Jets, by some miracle, put the Patriots down. So they're
Put them down like Old Yeller.
yeah, they're going to put them down. They're going to take a rifle to my head. They need to show that they've got it all together this Sunday going into the playoffs, because they're not going to go on the road and beat Kansas City or New England in the playoffs if they're playing the way they've been.
Speaking of putting them down, backing up for just a step, is this the last regular season game for Rob Gronkowski? Does he call it quits this year? There was talk of trading him last year. There was talk of him retiring. So great career, and it may be coming into an end. And that's one of the things, Week 17, you always have to look around and go, all right, who is this the end for?
If Antonio Gates is still playing, Gronkowski's got 15 more years.
He could, but evidently, for a guy that's portrayed as a meathead, he evidently has saved his money and only spent the money that he's made from endorsements. So the guy is not as dumb as he might lead on, and he does a hell of a lot of endorsements. Anyway, Lions at Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers showed some leadership, running late in the game, bringing the Packers back with 21 points in the last 10 minutes or something like that.
Thank Joe Philbin for that.
Lions, same thing as every year, disappointment. I like the Packers to win here, and I do think we were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and is he the kind of guy that, blood and guts guy, who would go follow onto, the battlefield? I think he showed a little bit of that by playing in these two games and by the way he played last week. So give me the Pack.
And, I'm taking the Packers here, too. And what do you think of Stafford? I mean, is his time up?
Yeah, that's one of the questions. When you look at Week 17, is this – it wouldn't be the end of his career.
No.
But it might be the end of his time as the Lions.
Yeah, I can't see them – I can't see them going forward with Bradford. The problem is next year's draft isn't chock full of quarterbacks. So even a team like Miami, who desperately needs a true quarterback – there's nobody coming out. The kid from Oregon, Herbert, just said, I'm staying.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to suck for him next year. I think it's Stafford's last game as a Lion. I think his war is welcome out. They've done nothing. Man, just drink the water in Flint and go. I'm taking the Packers.
For the quarterback-hungry teams, this is not the best draft coming up. Like you said, the kid from Oregon said, I think his brother's actually going on the team, and that's one of the reasons he's staying.
Oh, really?
So God bless him.
And speaking of quarterbacks that should be in high demand next year.
Yes, we have the Eagles at Washington, and people are now starting the debate, is Foles the better quarterback than Wentz, which, up until about 4 weeks ago, you never would have thought that was possible. Talking about guys whose career might end, that little Darren Sproles said this would be his last season. I hope he lied, because he's given them a jolt. He's been the little paddles of life that have brought the Eagles back, and I hope to God they lose this week.
Playing like a 25-year-old. It's incredible. The guy's an amazing talent.
He is, and I've loved him since he was a Charger. But I need them to lose. I need the Vikings in the playoffs, even if it will be a disappointing year overall. I do think the Eagles win this game just based purely on motivation and the fact that the Washington team has no interior lineman left standing, and they're on their 4th or 5th quarterback. So give me that little Darren Sproles and the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's a close game. I don't think the Eagles are going to spank Washington here, but Foles has a much better command and certainly a better record as the Eagles' starting quarterback. And with a game on the line, with the playoffs on the line, this kid I believe in, and I think Philly wins this in a close 3-4 point game.
Think about the kind of money Wentz would get on the open market, though. If somehow Foles goes on a run and takes the Eagles deep into the playoffs, or heaven forbid they win another Super Bowl, just think of if Kirk Cousins is 84 million or whatever the hell it was guaranteed. What does Wentz bring in? He's got to do better than that.
Be surprised.
Chargers at the Broncos, and the Chargers kind of est the bed at home last week against the Ravens. All of the top teams have, except for maybe the Saints, if you want to make this argument, have shown some chinks in their armor late in the season. The Chargers putting up 10 points against the Ravens, being a big part of that. But they should easily beat a Broncos team that has been a disappointment this year. They might be in the search for the quarterback next year. Give me the Chiefs easy on this one.
Yeah, and you mean Chargers?
Chargers. Did I say Chiefs?
Yeah.
I jumped ahead of game. Sorry.
I said it last week on our show. I wanted to see the Chargers against the Ravens defense, and guess what? They didn't do a lot. So you're going to get to the playoffs against good defenses. What are you going to do? Yeah, you beat Kansas City, but they can outscore you. The teams with a good defense, this is the time of year. They come out, they play. I think
so. Bears.
The Bears. I like
Ravens.
I like the Bears. I don't love the Ravens.
No, but I'm saying
Love
just
their defense.
Pure defense. Who are we talking? Bears, Ravens?
Bears, Ravens, Seahawks. I'm liking what the Seahawks are doing, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Chargers here, but I'm not sold on them getting very far in the playoffs.
All right, we've got Raiders at Chiefs, and Mahomes is the MVP of the league as far as I'm concerned. He's going to crack 50 touchdowns easy against the Raiders. If you, there's only a couple of arguments you can make for MVP. You can make Mahomes. You can make Breeze. I heard somebody made the luck argument, which was without luck, where would the Colts be?
Well, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah, and you could make a strong case for Aaron Donald, and you could make a case for Khalil Mack, as far as I'm concerned. It's not the most valuable offensive player; it's the most valuable player. Where would the Bears be without Khalil Mack this year? So, but in my opinion, in my humble opinion, Mahomes has earned it, not only with the statistics he's put up and the record they've put up, but the loss of Kareem Hunt, the LVP, least valuable player right now, and with the plays that he's made, where he's being sacked and he's doing it left-handed,
the no-look pass,
right? He's doing Steph Curry no looks behind his head, 50 yards down the field.
I think there's a guy back there.
So, fun guy to watch. I expect the Chiefs to win this one and keep their momentum going into the playoffs.
The Chiefs are 13-point favorites and have every right to be in this game. I'm taking the 13, giving the 13 with the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Chiefs to win. There you have it.
All right, so we've got Chicago at my Vikes, and what I really need in this game is I need the Rams to get out to a 28-0 lead in the first quarter, because Matt Nagy's got to decide whether he's going to rest people or not. If they need this game and it's close, they're gonna do everything they can to beat the Vikes. If they look up and the Rams are up 21-0 in early in the second, it may be time. Nagy's a rester; he rests people.
I'm surprised your game's 4:30.
Thank God it's 4:30. You know what I mean?
I hope
if it was a
the
1
New York
o'clock
stations
game,
carry it.
if it was a 1 o'clock game, they'd be playing hard no matter what. As a late game, I've got a chance that the Rams just start stomping on the 49ers, which I'm going to call for, and the Vikes get the win here. It would be a hell of a bad thing to get knocked out and have the Eagles jump in, since they knocked us out last year. Could we win this game? Yes. Did we win the first time we went against them? No. Why? Because Khalil Mack ate us alive, and that's highly likely to happen again.
Unless they learn their lesson.
I'm picking the Vikes. I'm hoping that the change in offensive coordinator is enough. I'm hoping we can run the ball and not rely on Cousins on the 7-step drop for Matt to just eat his lunch. So I'm taking my Vikes to make the playoffs. Yeah. I just can't say otherwise.
I'd like to take the Vikings.
I'd like for you to take the Vikings.
And I think they have the better offense. But, the Bears defense, I wasn't a believer in the beginning, but lo and behold, every week, they're showing that they're a top-tier defense.
I don't even know if we have the better offense, quite frankly, because the Bears can just pound the ball on you, and Trubisky's played well.
Yeah. I'm taking the Bears just because I think they're the better D, and I think they win this game. Sorry.
All right, so we have Browns at Ravens, and the Ravens can be anywhere from Super Bowl champions to out of the playoffs, depending on how this
Yep.
week goes. I'm going to let you take this game because this is one of those cross them out, pick the other team, cross them out, pick the other team.
All right. Well, I said it's going to be a tie.
Okay.
Now, you know what? Cleveland.
If it's a tie, doesn't Pittsburgh have to go into the Premier League in soccer or
Yeah,
something?
they
like
do.
that?
Yeah, they have to be Bundesliga. The Browns win this game. This is a huge game for them. This is a statement game going into next season. The Ravens only put up 13 points on the Chargers. A lot of teams scored on the Chargers. That's telling me that the Ravens offense isn't that good. I don't care. Lamar Jackson,
Ravens scored 22.
What?
Ravens scored 22 against the Chargers.
Oh, I turned it off at 13-10. Really, 20? Still not a lot of points.
22-10.
But the Browns have been in every game down to the last minute. If they haven't won it, they just lost it. They're getting 6. I take the 6 and I say they win outright. I think they go crazy. Nothing to lose. Big excitement for next season. They're going to be a contender next season. I am all over the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine the Browns
And the lights.
8-7-1, a winning season for the Browns after 2 years where they won one game? Big rookie QB duel here. It's a question of Mayfield versus Jackson. If I'm right on this, Jackson is one road overtime loss to the Chiefs away from being undefeated in his starts. Mayfield has obviously injected a lot of life into the Browns along with Myles Garrett, and it's a pick 'em to me. The Ravens need this game for playoff positioning. The Browns have some sort of weird chance if the Colts and the Titans tie. That's not going to happen. Ravens at home too. The D has been impressive, including shutting down Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, which I did not think they were going to be able to do last week. I'm taking the Ravens.
It's Cleveland shoving it up old Cleveland's butt.
Okay, we've got San Fran at the Rams, and if you had to pick a defensive MVP, would it be Mack or Donald?
You know what? Impact alone, Mac.
I know, that's how I feel about it too.
Just because without him, without
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, the Rams are still a pretty good defense. I mean, I think Khalil Mack had such an impact on the team, has created more chaos for teams. Playing, how do you plan? All right, defensive end tackle is a lot easier to plan for, except the guy's amazing.
Right.
No.
He's already set the record for interior lineman sacks. He could set the record. He had 4 against San Francisco when they played earlier. So he could take Michael Strahan's sham record.
Yeah.
By the way, I hope Brett Favre regrets that. No, I'm serious. I mean this sincerely, because there's a bunch of guys that are tied at like 22 sacks, including Jared Allen, who I think Favre played with the Vikings in at least 1 year. And those guys don't have a record because you were friends with Michael Strahan and you did a little nappy poo for him. So, yeah, F you, Brett Favre, and your stupid copper fit commercials. I need the Rams to jump out to a huge lead here. They have shown a little lack of offense late in the year, but they should be able to stomp San Francisco, on their third quarterback, lacking the kind of talent that it's going to take to stop the pass rush, not just from Donald, but from the entire Rams team.
Yeah.
Give me the Rams easy, and I hopefully early.
What's Gurley's situation? Is he playing? I mean, why would they play him?
What's that?
Why
Well,
would
that's
you
the
play
problem
Gurley?
with this week. Why would you play a lot of guys?
I
It
wouldn't
comes
play-
down to coach's decision.
Yeah, I'm playing my third string running back in this game as a Ram coach.
Not if you're a Viking fan, you're not.
I know, but I'm not a Viking fan, nor are the Rams, so that doesn't matter. It's a moot point. What I'm saying is, the Rams are going to win. I don't know if they're going to get out to a 28-0 foot stomping because who knows who's going to be in there. They should if they were playing all their guys, but I don't think Gurley's in. I like the Rams, but not by a lot.
Okay, that's I'm wishful thinking on
Yeah,
this
I know.
one. Bengals at Steelers and Juju Schuster-Smith with the
God bless you.
last second. Yeah, that's hard to say sometimes, especially a beer in
Juju
the
shits her pants.
Schuster-Smith. Last second fumble was just another in a long line of Pittsburgh's stunning losses late. They lead the league in like crappy fourth quarter losses, and it's tough to see. Do they still have hope? I think they still have hope.
Oh, yeah,
one of
there's
those
hope.
Weird phenomenon. So they will win this game. But it has been a disappointing season, and it is now a question of, is Mike Tomlin out? Because there's the hope, there are very rare things in this world. Stewart taking a bath, the Hope Diamond, and a change in the Steeler coaching
I
situation.
don't fit in the tub. They're made for babies.
But there's a good chance that I think Tomlin will stay. But
There's no reason Tomlin goes.
There are rumblings now, and
Yeah.
there are questions, of if he's lost the team, and there's always drama with Pittsburgh now. The Le'Veon Bell thing.
Yeah, but is Bell his problem? I mean, I'm sure he's the one who's begging for them to bring Bell in.
I'm just saying, there's a theory that after a certain number of years, the team just no longer. It's wah wah wah. It's Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 when Mike Tomlin talks, and that might explain some of these last-second snatching defeat from victory kind of moments the Steelers have had this year.
Our live studio audience is leaving.
We gotta go, man.
See you, boys.
See ya. We've had enough wisdom.
That's the Electric Football Studio Dancers.
We've got a Brexit discussion somewhere else now.
Hey, turn off the TV.
So they're Brexiting, and we're picking this. I'm picking the Steelers.
No reason not to take the Steelers here. Cincinnati, why are you still an NFL franchise? You have done nothing my entire life growing up.
Don't worry, they'll do much better under Hugh Jackson.
You know, my God, come on. Of all the things that you do, then you pick him up.
Yeah, and you're a team of thugs. I know.
Oh, you're going to get yelled
yeah,
at.
Deathly Hollows will yell at me, but team of thugs.
Yeah, no, it's Pittsburgh. I don't think they do anything in the playoffs. They just haven't shown the resiliency and the competitiveness week in and week out near the end of the season when they typically are beating the crap out of people coming back. They've always started out kind of slow and then they come on strong. They haven't done that this year.
When you look at like, the organizations where people go, that's just a great organization. The Patriots, the Giants have always been that way. You don't go, yeah, it's Cincinnati. What a model,
What a model franchise.
What a model organization. Bird fight. We got the Cardinals
Not
at the
much of one.
Seahawks, and this one's real easy. The Cardinals, if they lose, they get the first pick in the draft. There's no reason they're going to go on the road and upset the Seahawks, who need this game, who are a team that is on the rise and actually a very, very scary team. When you were talking defense winning playoffs, this defense and running game, I'd be scared of the Bears and the Seahawks.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to take on either one of those teams in the playoffs. So give me the Seahawks easily in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team is coming alive like the Giants did that year that they were the lowest seed in the playoffs.
Like Peter Frampton did.
Showed you the way.
Peter Frampton, come alive. Sorry, I thought you would get that.
I should have. It's the lights. They're just driving me crazy. It's Charlie Brown song. Yeah, the Seahawks defense, not against the Cardinals. I mean, the Hawks win this game.
Yes.
Going into the playoffs, this is a team that I would be very leery of and not want to play because they're making things happen. They're coming alive. Wilson is looking very good. Their defense is putting it together.
Like Peter Frampton. Sorry.
Hawks.
I want you. Show me the way.
Every day.
I'm sorry. If you grew up at our age and you don't know Peter Frampton's Come Alive, then and they're
Everyone had the album.
Everyone had Come Alive. Everybody had Saturday Night Fever.
I
I'm
did
sorry,
not.
but everybody but Stu had that.
Why
And
did I
everybody
have
had Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell.
I did have that.
Everybody had Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic.
I did not. I think they suck.
All right, I can't help you here.
Okay.
Colts.
Titans.
Titans.
Best game of the week.
Oh, what a great game to end on. I mean, seriously. It's do or die. It's head to head. It's division football. It's Andrew Luck chucking it and running for his life versus Derrick Henry just grounding, pounding people to death. It's two coaches that should be in the Coach of the Year discussion with Vrabel and Frank Reich.
Yep.
God, I like Mike Zimmer. Don't get me wrong, but I'm looking at those two guys like, they're kind of cute. I mean, I would take Vrabel or Reich as my coach if I was any other franchise looking for a coach. I like the Titans in this. I think the Colts have an advantage at quarterback. I think the Titans have a huge, maybe not huge, but a big advantage at running back. I think the Titans have the better defense. I think that they're equivalent on the offensive line. I think home field advantage is a big deal here. It's going to come down to which quarterback makes a mistake. I think Mariota is going to be able to play a little more cautious because I think they're going to be able to run the ball more effectively than the Colts. I'm taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Colts, and the reason is I think they can score more. They have the better.
Well, that's how you win. Yes.
Yeah, but they have the better quarterback.
They do by a bit.
And I'll tell you what, I don't even know who he's throwing to half the time because it's Indianapolis. Nobody watches the Colts around here. I've seen a lot of the Titans for some reason this year. And again, they don't. Okay, the Derrick Henry 99-yard run or whatever the hell that was.
And then followed it up against the Giants the next week, just breaking tackle after tackle.
But the Colts just seem to have some magic going this year. I think Frank Reich can put together a little better game plan, having been a quarterback, than Vrabel can offensively.
Well, that's actually good. It's a good matchup of coaches because you've got the defensive, pressure the quarterback guy in Vrabel versus the offensive, how do I protect the quarterback guy?
And the Colts line has been very good this year. And, they don't have a great running game, but they have enough of a running game that affords Luck the time to throw the ball. And he has just looked great this year. And if you watch this show,
and that is not a Luck guy.
No, I am not a Luck guy, but I'll tell you what, this year he has really impressed the living hell out of me. I am taking the Colts.
All right, so that's electric football basically for the year.
Happy New Year. We might come back.
We would love your comments on rookies of the year,
coach of the year,
defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, coach of the year,
celebration of the year, because I'm tired of that shit. Oh God, and all the pictures in the end zone.
Yeah, but the picture thing's getting a little tired.
Hell.
Anyway, that's a couple of old men ranting about the NFL. We love you guys.
Statler and Waldorf. Good night.